Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the show. Fernando is here.
Hi.
He's doing some stuff.
I always do.
We were, you know us. It just seems like lately everything is running slow and behind. And
New Mexico.
but anyways, good morning, good afternoon, good evening,
Good evening.
wherever you're at. Congratulations for being there, but you're here now, so who cares? Hey.
What's up?
Is that Chinatown or just Chi-Town? Or Chi-Town. Anyways, California, House, Georgia, New Mexico.
That's right.
St. Louis, 95 and sunny. 2003. You can't. We have a video on that.
Video?
Yeah, it's in the glove box. Actually, Metro does make a bypass for that, but it's in the glove box.
Yep.
We do have a video you can check out.
That's right.
It's 8 wires. It's a lot of fun. Phoenix, what's going on? Hey guys, learned a lot about install watching you guys.
There you
Thanks.
go. Thank you.
No problem. Sir. 87 is sunny in Buffalo. 106 in Cali. Dang, Bobby. If anyone needs a DSR1, Newegg.com had some in stock, but they are $320. Really? Where they got those from? Dang, good for them. Netherlands in the house. What's going on? Yep, okay. Wow. Huh. Fargo. What's going on? Oregon. Phoenix. Dang, Phoenix, 113. Texas feels like 109. I know, right? That's how it is here. I mean, we don't ever... Ooh, 115 on Wednesday? You know, so that's the funny thing. Oh, look, another Jeep. Trust me, I feel the same way. You know, it doesn't get to be like 100 all that often, but man, with the humidity, it's just thick. Like, it's just...
Yeah.
Our weather's just thick. So some housekeeping that we thought we should get out of the way here, since everyone's here. This week we are going to be doing a fundamentals. We have one lined up, on axis, off axis, so that'll come up at the 25-minute mark. 25-minute mark or 20-minute mark?
Fundamentals is a 20 minutes.
So at 20-minute mark, we're doing that. We do have a spotlight also, some product for Fernando. That's what he was getting ready, so we have those. However, for the next 2 weeks, we won't be. The reason for that is that I have to start getting the PowerPoint ready for the Knowledge Fest class we're teaching, which means I won't. Monday nights are kind of like my one night to like work that kind of stuff, and that's when I've been doing the fundamentals, and I won't have time to do them for the next 2 weeks. So sorry.
But still a Q&A, normal.
But everything else is going to be, we just won't have the, which I'm sure some of you are going to be like, ah, damn, but yay, we can ask and answer more questions. Oh, that was this morning. Oh,
all right, first off, let's go to the Clean Water Club.
I was getting through Brooklyn, Pensacola,
Oh, yeah.
Oregon.
Oh.
Oregon.
Yes.
See, that's the great thing. Tomato.
Okay.
And I live in Florida. So, I mean, but yes, I understand. But no, I'm going to say it wrong.
All right.
You think by now you guys are just come to accept that. All right, so with that being said, as far as the fundamentals and spotlight goes, let's move on. Today we have, as always at the beginning of the show, we have
New
the
picture.
12-volt Clean Wire Club, new picture, new top line here. For those of you who don't know, we run this little this little Facebook page group, as it were, called the 12-volt Clean Wire Club. It's where you can go and post all your cool clean wire, or go check out other people's cool clean wire. If you're not a member, I strongly suggest becoming a member. Lewis is in the house.
What's up, Lewis?
Anyways, this week we have a picture, and what do we have here, Fernando?
We have Mr. James.
Mr. James did a
Mr.
wonderful
James.
job.
Yeah,
We have
nice.
some LC amplifiers and a Helix DSP3.
Uh-huh.
I really like his. I like the zero gauge terminals he has.
Yeah.
Those are really basic, really simple. But I want those. Like I don't know where, I don't know whose those are. My guess is they're probably Metro or something. But I need
that.
I need to know whose those are because I want those.
Yeah.
I mean, I like
They
the
look
T ones
nice.
we have, but those are way better.
Yeah, no, they
for
nice.
for just an application like this, we don't have that style.
Uh-huh.
And so James, if you
hear
ever
me,
watch,
there you go. James is right there.
James, let me know who makes those, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Hey, it's me, I'm famous. Yes, you are, James. You're famous for today. You did a wonderful job. Congratulations. But whose zero gauge blocks were those?
the terminals. They are Rockford.
Oh, of course they're Rockford. I know I've seen them somewhere. Dang it.
Rockford.
I mean, we could get them, I suppose.
Rockford May one.
Yeah, all right.
Nice.
So thank you. So we'll have to order. I'll have Paul order some of those from Rockford. They'll be happy. But yes,
What's
now
up,
if you
Terry?
would like to have your picture spotlighted here, such as James did,
Yeah.
do an awesome wiring job and post it up, and then there you go.
Yes.
All right. So moving on, we'll go back to the big screen here. How was your weekend?
Oh, that was wonderful.
Was it?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah?
Fun. Yeah. Birthday party.
Yeah, birthday
Yeah.
party mine and too. Haley's birthday party. So
Yeah,
she
how
turned
was it?
22 and it was what it was. It was fine.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, they're 22. I mean, how much what do you really do at that
It's
point?
just only 22.
I
right?
bought her. She wanted. I bought her a big ass cookie cake, literally a big ass cookie cake from the American Cookie Company at the mall, and she loves that. So, she wanted a new phone, so she got a new phone, and then of course. The fans here hooked us up on the Boring Life of Dean and Haley. We needed like 11 subscribers to push it over 1,000.
Yeah.
So
That was
you
a
guys,
good one
you guys
right
came
there.
through in a clutch. She cried.
Yeah.
It was wonderful. So thank you so much, everyone, again for doing that. Hey, kids in the karate world, what's up, Mr. Bill Freeman? I have 2018 Jeep JK non-stock, non-alpine radio, non-navigation. Oh, radio with navigation going into Helix. Having a hard time EQing out 12 dB smiley face suggestions. You gotta have an RTA, man. You gotta have an RTA. Now, okay, so you have the DSP-3, which has an RTA built into it. You may want to buy the microphone, because for the Helix stuff, all you have to do is buy the microphone from Helix, and it'll do
RTA.
It'll do RTA. It'll do time alignment for you. You just have to put in one speaker, and then I haven't done it. This is Jeff telling me all about it.
Yeah.
But
if
you may
go to the website.
Yeah, you may want
to
to do that, and that might make things a little bit easier for you. And the microphone's not that expensive. Space not an issue. 2 kicker comp Rs 12s or 1 kicker round comp Q12. What are your thoughts, guys? Power. What's wrong with you? Don't want to go with the Q class square? I mean, you're not a square guy. I mean, I like the squares personally. I mean, if I have my choice, I'm going square because it's going to be louder. But looking at that, I mean, what are you doing? Are we going for volume? If we're going for volume, probably going to get more out of the 212s. Are we going for sound quality? Probably going to get better sound quality out of the 112 ported box. So I guess that would be what you'd want to have to decide on. Is it difficult to disconnect the ANC noise cancellation in 2017 GMC Sierra? Facebook, where are all the mics? Okay, join the group. Facebook, where are all the mics? If you can. If you can't, what color is the wire?
It's a gray purple.
It's a gray purple wire.
On the passenger side.
It should be at the amplifier in the harness.
In the amplifier.
Yeah, yeah. There's a gray purple wire there that you just have to cut.
Yeah.
But otherwise, no. It's the ones in the headliner suck, big time.
Yes.
Like big time suck.
Yeah.
So, does any mic fit on any DSP? As far as the the software's calibrated for their microphone. So that's the caveat on all of it, is that the calibration side of things. So like when you buy an audio control, they sell you the audio control mic because the RTA is calibrated for that microphone. So you'd have to have a way to update the calibration file, and the mic would have to come with one. So it's kind of why you just use the mics that they sell, so you don't have to screw with all that. But if that's a challenge you want to try to tackle, then you'd have to just get the mic and the calibration file for it. I would suggest if you're, call the manufacturer and talk to them about it. It might be something that's simple, or it might not matter. But most of the time, it just comes down to the calibration file. What DSP would you go between Helix, JL, and audio control? 3 different problems, 3 different solutions. I wouldn't necessarily. I don't. So like those answers, there's no one correct answer for this. Depending on what I'm trying to do, is the DSP I'm going to go with. So, I mean, if like, oh my gosh, no. I look at all 3 of those as different tools for different problems. And each one of them is good. They're three of the best DSPs in my mind out there. So I really, like we've said a dozen million gazillion times, download all the software, see which one makes sense to you. Because you could buy the coolest DSP in the world. If you can't figure out how to use it, it really doesn't matter. And the software on all of those, that's three of the most different DSP softwares there are. Like, none of those, they're all in-house built DSP software, so none of them are like other DSPs. So those are three of the most unique pieces of software out there. There are more. I'm not saying those are the only three.
Oh, no.
But these are all very unique DSP software, all DSP in-house. So play with it, figure it out. I can tell you on the JL and the audio control, if you're an Apple person like myself, you know, I can't get it up there, Apple fanboy like this, then those two will do Apple, the JL will not. I'm sorry, the Helix will not. So, but other than that, what do you got for me?
All right, so I have a question. I have an Alpine 445U amplifier.
Okay, so the universal brick amp.
Yeah, how can I make a three-way system? I'm using my tweeter amplifier. I want right left on the front speakers and use the rear channel as bridge for a mono. For a center speaker, I can get above a 14 volts output using an RR plus RL, like rear right, rear left.
So are we trying to bridge the amplifier?
I don't think you can bridge them.
You're not, okay, all right. Technically, you're not supposed to bridge the 455U.
Mm-hmm.
Technically. Say it for me.
Technically. Basically.
I love it when he does that. Anyways, you can though, but they're not going to tell you how. It's right positive, left negative. All right, so you're going to use the right positive, left negative out of the amplifier, and that will bridge the amplifier for you. It's not wonderful. It works in a pinch, and that's the only time we've ever done it. But that's what you would want to do with that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is a good one. This John asked, does sound deadening the Jeep speaker box make it sound better?
Oh man.
Tell me, Fernando.
It's just always been that thing, like, you know, it's gonna make it rigid. You know?
More rigid means it's gonna sound better.
It's gonna, yes.
So the reason why this is funny is obviously you see this Jeep in the corner here. This is a JL, not a JK. A JK, we do, if the customer wants to pay for it, we do insulate the box, which makes it more rigid, which is nice. However, personally for me, I feel fast rings make more better sense because of how far the speaker sits away from the grill. Mm-hmm. I feel like the fast ring is almost a must. Making the box more rigid will definitely help. But the fast ring, at least the front part of the fast ring, whatever you want to do to get that speaker to push through the grill, do it. Now on a JL Jeep, like this one, if you're going to replace the front buckets with the Metra buckets, you have to sound dead in them. There's no question. It's not an option. It's not like maybe. You have to sound dead in them because they will fall apart.
Yeah.
It's not a slam on Metra. It's just they are sealed speaker baskets that were never made to. It's just what it is. And if you do it, they do sound substantially better and will last a lot longer. Mm-hmm. Because trust me, getting the speakers out of this car is not a 5-minute task. And if you think it sucks on a JK, it sucks 10 times on a JL. So, Jeep, just make it loud. No. I mean, yes, but no.
I mean, make it loud and make it sound good.
Yeah, I mean, loud and sound good. I mean, because it still needs to sound good. And that was part of the argument today. What head unit would you recommend for a Tacoma with a front, rear, side cameras? So there's plenty. For a Tacoma, you have any one of the Kenwood Exelon XR radios are going to have that. They'll have 4 camera inputs. And if you do iData RR, you can set those up to where you can control those camera. You can control things like that from the steering wheel, like push to view camera type stuff. Although most of the XRs have a camera button on them, so that's not a big deal there. If you caught the Avalon video on Instagram that we did last week, which would have been out today, at some point on there we kind of show, we put a 10.1-inch floating screen in the dash, the Kenwood XR. He had a front camera, a back camera, and a dash camera. And you could easily change through those on the face of the radio by just hitting the camera button, so it's kind of cool. Another radio that has 4 camera inputs is going to be the Stinger High 10. Has 4 camera inputs as well, so you can do that with theirs. If you're trying to do with the High 10, if you're trying to do like turn signals and stuff like that, they have an activate. They do have triggers for each one of their cameras, so that is also a doable thing. So there you go. Have any of you had the lost high-res music through Apple Music? This is a recent update with CarPlay on a high-res head unit. Does it work? If so, how was it? Did you see a difference? So that's one of the things that we've been playing with for the last week. Specifically, Fernando has been having a blast with it. In my car, it has CarPlay. It's over USB. So according to everything that Apple says, you should be getting the high-res music over the USB when using CarPlay. I don't know about the wireless because I can't really find any information on that yet. My car is a convertible, so I don't know. What have you found out with yours?
I try it. I grab the USB, plug it in. AC/DC, one of the songs, I hear the difference. You hear it more. I don't know, man.
It's just weird.
It's just weird how you hear it. So definitely you can hear the difference in those
but you have
high-res music, but you have to have like right now I'm using it like a USB, right?
Yes.
I have the adapter that I'm trying to plug it in, and I think one of the cords that I have
isn't working right.
It wasn't working right, so yes.
Can I run CarPlay just on my phone as a standalone? No. CarPlay has got to be plugged into a head unit.
Yes.
And
the GC components are so nice. They are really, really nice.
No, the Audio Frog mic won't work. Have you contacted MSC America? MSC America is where you're going to find that microphone. So that's the distributor here in the United States. So MSC America, it's probably mscamerica.com is where you'll find it. Reach out to them and see if they can get you the microphone. But that's who's got it. So if anyone, don't search online because you're not going to find it anywhere online because there are no online retailers in the U.S. for them. So that's why you haven't found it. I just found out that I live near Hi-Fi Vega. Ooh, toilet paper's house. Fernando, how are the GZ components?
Nice.
There you go. Good. We got a one-word answer out of them. Nice.
Really nice. 2018 Jeep Grand Cherokee. If it has the premium audio, where will the amplifier be?
Driver's side rear or passenger side rear. Or, okay, hold on. This is driver's side rear. I want to say driver's side rear. I'm almost positive it's the driver's side rear behind the side panel. Because that's because it's not up in the driver. It's not up next to the steering column, which is where Dodge always puts it. It's up next to the steering column. So here's what I would check: if it's not next to the steering column, on the left side of the steering column, then it's in the driver's rear, which is I think where it's at. That seems to make the most sense. I'm going the wrong way. Evening, guys. Never got the dang notification. Dang you, Facebook. What were you thinking?
Yeah.
How do you get bass knob apart that comes with the Amp Pro? I mean, it doesn't actually.
What?
Hold on. Well, I'm just trying to think. It's like it's just this. It's nothing, and it just unplugs. So I mean, it's not like there's nothing to it.
Yeah.
Just unscrews. As far as the knob goes, the knob just pulls right off. So, I mean.
All right, and yes, John is right. 20 minutes.
Yep.
It's Done.
All right, so today's topic is going to be exciting in the sense that it was suggested. Somebody brought it up last week, and I was like, that's a great idea. Let's do that. So, at 20-minute mark, welcome to Fundamentals of Car Audio, brought to you by D&F Tool Drawer. That's a place you can go and find all the cool tools that you need to do your installation. All right, let's go here. Let's head over to the laptop. So today's topic is on-axis and off-axis. This has to do with the position of the speaker located in the car relative to your ears or head or whatever you'd like to associate it with. All right, things to know about on-axis, off-axis. Describes the direction the speaker is facing in relationship to the listener. I gotta stop prefacing these things before I do them. There is no right or wrong option. It comes down to personal preference and the type of speaker being used. Tweeters are the most sensitive to on-axis and off-axis. What we're looking at here in this image is a set of the Rockford T1 tweeters. Rockford is one of the companies that provides an on-axis, off-axis adjustment in the passive crossover for you. There's a simple switch that you just toggle between the two. What on-axis looks like. The speakers are facing the listener. So, as you see in this 1980 Camaro right here, and the girl with the ponytail in the passenger seat, you have speakers facing your eyeballs. So if you could see the speakers looking forward, they're on axis. Now, on axis doesn't mean they directly have to be facing you. It just means that there's within 30 degrees of where you're sitting in the car. So as you see that arc of sound, the green arc of sound, it's about a 30-degree angle off of the speaker. That will allow you to, that falls them into off-axis. Off-axis is where the speakers are directly mounted to the side. So you can't see them, they're facing your ears. Now, one of the reasons, speakers are facing the listener. One of the things that you have to keep in mind about this is, as I said at the beginning, there's no right or wrong answer. It really just comes down to the tweeter you're trying to use. Convenient set of audio frogs here. The speaker's beam pattern is what determines how good or bad frequency response on and off axis performance will be. And what we have down here in the bottom is an example of two different tweeters playing a frequency. Over on the side you can see 500 hertz, 1000 hertz, 2000 hertz, 4000 hertz, 8000 hertz, and purple, which is the smallest pattern in the center, is 16,000 hertz. Now, why is this important on axis and off axis? Well, because you can use this to do different things with the speakers you're trying to perform. If your speaker has good off axis response, then you have the ability to mount it in wherever you want in the car. If it has bad, but it has better on-axis response, putting it in front of you will make it obviously sound better. So if you see that beam pattern there on where it's narrower, that speaker would probably be better facing you than off to the side. Most manufacturers don't give you this information, which is kind of a bummer, but tweeters are small enough to where you can actually just put them where you think they should go and play them and get a good idea. Sometimes just slightly angling them just a tad will fix the beam problem, and there again you also have to remember is what frequency and how much of that sound you're playing. Now, beam pattern also comes in on the on-axis, off-axis is location. So sometimes if your speaker is or tweeter is very obnoxious and loud, by putting it up into the corners of the dash can sometimes smooth these tweeters out. Sometimes putting them off axis will help change the tonality and just the obnoxiousness of the tweeter. So that's why I said there's no right or wrong way of using on axis, off axis. It's just a matter of trying to direct that sound to get to your ears and sound the best possible. So to recap, on axis is when the speaker is looking at you. Off axis is when you can't see the speaker and it's aimed at your ear.
I can still see that.
You can still see it?
I can still see it.
Alright guys, and that has been the fundamentals of car audio.
All right. How important is an amplifier signal to noise ratio spec? Are there any other specs to focus on?
So think of it like this. If all you worry about is one thing, then chances are good you're going to miss a lot of other things as far as in life. All right. There has to be a balance of everything in an amplifier, not just signal noise. You have to have a good dampening factor. You have to have a good efficiency rating. And there's tons of them. I'm not an amplifier designer, so I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I am. But all of those things have to be a good rounded thing. Signal noise is one of many things that have to be pretty decent. But you don't want awesome good signal to noise and then really crappy efficiency on the amplifier, because then you'd put it in a car and yeah, sure, it draws tons of current and you really can't use it all that often. So no, focus on all of the numbers, okay, not just some of the numbers, or focus on the brand of the amplifier. Because what'll happen is you'll see some of these amplifiers and they're again like dampening factor. For a while there, everyone was like, oh my god, like you need a gazillion million things, number on this. And it's like, no, you really don't. You need, it needs to be within this range here, and that's it. So most amplifiers have pretty decent signal to noise ratio. When you start to see something that's just like totally off the curve, then it's like, yeah, there's going to be something else weird on this. Or it just might be so obnoxiously great, you're going to be paying thousands of dollars for the amplifier. So in most amplifiers that you're buying at a consumer price point, all the numbers are pretty balanced. So you're not going to have one too far left, one too far right.
Alright, I have a Tundra crew cab. Going to replace an amplifier power wire with the OFC. I have focal integration components in the front, coaxials in the rear, and a pair of Rockford P210. Sounds good. Not the volume I was expecting from my Alpine PDX V10. I had a Kenwood 901.5 and previously also got a pair of Rockford 390.2 amplifiers.
Okay.
Got any recommendations on the speakers and amplifier upgrade?
So it's not loud enough?
It's not loud enough.
What speakers does he have?
Focal integration.
Oh, those should be screaming. I mean,
Nice.
those have good efficiency.
Mm-hmm.
You really don't need more than 100 watts to them to get them any louder. So it sounds to me like we need to go up and substantially up. So if you like the sound of the Focal, they're just not getting loud enough for you, then maybe jump up to like a Focal Flax, and then bridge the amplifier or go active on the amplifier so that you can get more power out of those amplifiers to those. Because if it's the new PDX, those aren't that much power.
It's the PDX XV10.
Which is probably the newer one.
Okay.
Yeah. But those aren't the power that the PDX V9s had.
No.
It's nowhere near the power that the old ones had. That was the biggest complaint we had with those, is that easier just go to Alpine site, is that they weren't the power.
Yeah.
So anyways, Moscone 1000 or JL. I mean, I'm gonna go Moscone just because I like Moscone. No, props to you, man, for all the backup cameras you do. I did one this week on a full-size Chevy truck. Wasn't fun.
I know they suck, right? Dude, I hate backup cameras. Dude.
Have a Tundra. Is this what you?
Alright, so it's the PDX V9.
Oh, so it's PDX V9.
I was like 10.
So that's 110 watts a channel. That's plenty of power for those. If it's just not loud enough for you, then what I would recommend doing is going with better speakers, bigger speakers, and bridging that amplifier. Bridge that to a set of Flax, Focal Flax. Make it a 3-channel amplifier.
I mean, going active, man.
No, I would still. No, he wants it loud. If you want it loud, go power.
Yeah.
Power. Active isn't
More
going to make it loud.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I would. just work with the statement there. It's not like active isn't loud. Active is
No,
loud.
yeah, but
if
like,
you got
you're
200
telling
watts going to these things, or 220 watts going to these,
like, okay,
it's
so
gonna be a lot
if
louder.
he say upgrading the amplifier, would you go with the audio control?
I mean, there's no reason to upgrade the amplifier, though. The amplifier's got plenty of power. I mean, if we just want to get rid of it because it's old, fine, I get it. Then, yeah, you could go to the 6-channel audio control, get the D6 1200, and then you could go full active because that'd be 110 watts by 6. So you could run a set of tweeters, a mid-bass, and also the rear off of it as well. All right, hold on, Dave. I was getting there. Zen A to B, or Zen TV, or Pack Amp Pro. Very similar, all right? Very similar. The difference between the two really comes down to the application. They really only have one crossover piece, which is the GM model. They both make a GM interface for the cars. If you have a Bose system, they're both pretty much the same, other than the Zen is going to have 12 channels of output if you need it, whereas the Pack Amp Pro is only going to have 6. They both have front, rear, sub, center, but on the Zen they'll also have 4 more fronts and 2 more centers. I'm sorry, 2 more rears. Yeah, so total of 4 rears, 6 fronts, center, sub. Anyways, that's the only one that overlaps. The rest of them are totally different. So they don't. Zen doesn't make a Dodge, and Amp doesn't make an A to B for the Fords. So they've Zen didn't waste their. Zen came out with the GM first. That's why that's the only one that overlaps. But otherwise, no, they don't really make anything. Now, when it comes to GM, the advantage of the Amp Pro over the Zen is that the Amp Pro, you just if you don't have Bose, you can flick dip switch 3 if you have the issue where the audio for Sirius XM and FM only comes out of the left channel. For those 2 sources, it will mirror them to the right. For the Zen A to B, you have to buy a tuner from them that they've remanufactured. So that's it. They're both excellent. We use them both in installations, but we use them specifically for the cars that need them.
I don't think that will work in the 2021 Blazer.
No, it will not. Neither one of them will work on a 2021 Blazer.
All right,
there is nothing right now for 2021 Blazer without Bose.
What did you go to screw bolt to mount the subs on a Fox box?
We have a standard black, like little bubble head screw that we buy from Amp Global. It's like an 1.25 inches. It's not a drywall screw. I don't use drywall screws. No. But yeah.
All right, I have this one. Can a kicker key handle a factory amplified signal to its a high level input? Or will you recommend a keylog or an LC2I? It's a 2018 Grand Cherokee.
I would never use a
kicker
key in that vehicle.
No.
Period. It's not made for that vehicle. If you've got a factory amplified system and you're trying to put a kicker key into it, you'll be less than pleased with the outcome. It's not made for that car. It is made for the car that doesn't have the factory premium audio system to make it sound more like a factory premium audio system. If you would like to make your 2018 Dodge sound wonderful, or Jeep, or whatever it is, Grand Cherokee, you'd want to buy an Amp Pro, or you'd want to buy something DSR or AR related, so iData AR right here. Or possibly check out this guy right here. This would be a better buy for you, the Kenwood DSP 6600 with the AR. That would plug directly into your radio and give you 6-channel DSP built into it. But it's not made, the key is not made to go in an amplified system. We would never do that. You have way more power in your car now and way more channels and way more DSP done to it. Then it just was never made for that.
Yeah.
So, but you'd want an Amp Pro or an AR.
MSC America responds super fast. Thank you for all you info provide. You guys are awesome. Oh, you're welcome, man. Yeah.
I knew they would.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
They're awesome.
What was this one? Hold on. things just keep moving so fast.
All right, I have this one.
Who's it from? Okay, go ahead.
Elliot. All right. I hope you guys are doing fine. I'm planning on installing some Morel Virtus on the front of my 4-door truck. What Morel coaxials will be good to pair the Virtus?
They don't make Integra Virtuses? I don't know why I thought they did. Maybe they don't.
No.
You just go the next size down in the Integras. So I would go with the Ultimos. It's morelhifi.com. Yeah.
All right.
Virtue 602s remove R-type components and immediately heard horns and violins, such brighter with the D6-1200. Thanks for the help, guys. Exactly. You're welcome. On a Rockford P500, should you feel the bass in your chest, or would you consider a moderate light bass feel? I played it safe when I DSP'd it. No. Okay, so with the P500 or any of the P series amplifiers, it's one of those weird situations. Like, it's either going to be crazy loud, boom boom, yay, or it's not, which is kind of odd. But we get a ton of bass out of those things. Like, it should sound it should be like it's going to explode, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
That's really the bass that comes out of those things. You're gonna go, that's doing that much bass? Wow. That's usually where those are at. Very rarely do we run into a situation where we're like, man, that's disappointing.
Yeah.
Unless it was in like a Nissan with severe bass roll off, in which case that was very disappointing. But otherwise, no, it should like just kill you. On the Tundra issue, the PDX night sheet states 126 per channel. Would poor quality power wire be costing me power and performance? Yes, of course. If you could put a voltmeter at the battery. I'm sorry, you put a voltmeter at the power connection at the amplifier and see what kind of voltage you have coming into it. It should be somewhere around 13.6, 13.8. If it is, you're golden.
Yeah.
Someone say bass? No, Mel. No one said bass.
Trying to add the P500.
But if we needed it, we would call you. So trying to add a P500 to a 2016 Subaru Forester. Where should I tap for signal? Drivers or passenger front door. Yeah. Drivers or passenger front door. You don't have to tap both. Just pick one or the other and go for it.
Yeah.
Mel. Dallas, baby. Dallas. We need to talk. Mel. We should get together at some point before, or not like physically get together. We should communicate, because we should come up with a plan for Texas, because that'd be cool to fly in somewhere and hang out with you like morning Thursday, and then like maybe go see, like, do rep calls or something, because just to hang out, and then work our way slowly over to the Omni. We talked about it like 4 years ago when we could do stuff like that, and I'd still love to do that if you're down. Yeah. So August is coming. Winter ain't though. 2012 Ford Focus. Would you just do front stage only, since the rear speakers are so close to the front seats? We've done that before. So we did a Ford Focus where we just worked on the front stage because the guy was like 6'2", and he basically rode in the back seat of the car anyways. Yeah, we put a ton of power on a set of front speakers. I thought it sounded wonderful. Mm-hmm. That was it. It was like a lot. We just overpowered the crap out of some front speakers and put a sub in it. And yeah, I mean, the sub was probably closer to his head than the front door speakers were. I'm only 5'5". So you might want to think about doing rear speakers. Maybe just leave the factory ones in there and with flat tires on the Caddy. Perfect. You might want to think about leaving the rear speakers in. Personally, to me, the front stage, front stage upgrade comes as an economical way to make your car sound better. As far as concentrating on that front where we spend all our time is very important. Mm-hmm. I would definitely recommend that. Anytime I'm looking to do an upgrade, the front stage is the most important. If you have money after that, of course, then we concentrate on the rear. But concentrating on the front should be the most important, 100%.
All right. On the issue of the PDX V9,
Yeah, I got that.
Yep.
You covered that while you were looking on your phone.
Okay. Any experience with the Museway?
My Museway.
That's what I say. Museway.
If so, I'll just go with the Virtus instead of the Maximus. Oh, do that. 100%, Stefan. Do the Max. Yes. Yeah. Correct. Run with that. Good thought. No, we've looked at the Museway. It looks very neat. I don't see a problem with it. It was a brand, we tossed around the idea of bringing it in at the beginning of COVID last year.
Yeah.
And then we just said, no, we're not making any moves during that. I don't know if it's something we'll bring in. Probably not, just because
oh my God, we have
so much stuff. But no, it looks very intriguing. It's one of those brands I'm keeping my eye on because I just kind of want to see how it all pans out. Plus, I'm also looking at some other brands that I'm more interested in than those. But yeah, it looks. I feel the future is pretty bright for that company. I think they're. I think in another year or two we're going to hear more from them, and if we do, then we'll go.
Probably next year. Yeah.
Okay.
What's up, guys? Recommend.
I know, right?
Where is it?
I know, right there.
Recommend brand speakers upgrade for a 2021 4Runner without JBL system. It sounds to be better than a 2020 Highlander.
Stock, but missing something. Yeah, you're missing something, for sure. We do a lot of those. One thing you're going to need is some power. Definitely going to need some power because it needs some juice.
Add a subwoofer, man.
Adding a subwoofer would be spectacular. The easiest upgrade for that like right off the bat, like instantaneous, like wow, this is way nicer, because it has those 4 6.5s in the rear, which are just like whatever. But that front stage just sucks. So what I would suggest doing is seeing if you can find the Focal plug and play Toyota 6x9 components for the front, or if you wanted to, like if you can't find those, I would look at either the Kenwood Exelon 2.5 with 6x9. Or the new kid on the block is the Kicker XR 6x9s with the 2.5 for the front. One of those 3 speakers combinations up front, along with the Kicker key on the front end of that, just running those. So doing bi-amp mode on the Kicker key to the dash to the door. Wow, you'll notice an immediate better sound. Add some form of a subwoofer to it, and you'll be rocking and rolling and be happy. Just need the darn DM link to come out. I know, right? Jesus. Yeah. You and me both. Oh, there's Mr. Hi-Fi Vega. What's up, man? Vega. It's a love affair. Yeah. Anyways, hi from Trinidad and Tobago. We are passionate about karate here. Yes, you guys are. That is for sure. You're definitely one of the countries that like is always here. So thank you guys so much.
Do you know if the KO Morel speakers are on the market? KO speakers, huh?
Don't know.
I think it's a different one. It's a 3-way set on eBay. Okay.
Dude, when it comes to Morel, they have a lot of fake stuff. There's a lot of fake stuff. So
you just gotta be careful.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
especially,
I think. Yeah.
I've never heard of those. That's not to say they aren't real.
Right.
I've just never heard of them. So I don't know. How did you set up your saw router table? Did you buy a kit or make it the table and integrate the tools? Made the table. Everything is from scratch. It's one of those things that just kind of has grown over the years and changed and been manipulated. And when I first started here, I had come from a place where I'd always had a rolling table that made things nice, and then the rolling table turned into a workbench, and a workbench turned into a workstation, and a workstation turned into a corner of the shop. And then here it was kind of the same thing. Like I needed, the way the shop was originally laid out, the table saw was actually going to be over here, but then that threw dust onto that was a mistake. So I needed someplace else to put it, so I just set it over here, and eventually it turned into a workbench, and then it was a wire. So it just kind of grown over the years. What we used to build it is a 2x4 frame, some toolbox caster wheels off of a toolbox. And then just MDF to do what we needed it to do. We've taken the top off and made it bigger. We've added a router station to it that we don't ever use. We put a vacuum system inside of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it just continues to evolve into something. Right now, it's just kind of there. We actually use it to hold. We use it a lot. Like it accumulates more crap than I care for.
Yeah.
But it's just because there's not a lot of room. But no, that's it. Rock and roll.
Rock and roll.
Ready? All right. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me go to. So now it is time for, hang on, let me turn this off. Yeah, there we go. Now it's time for Spotlight with Dean and Fernando. This is the time where we show you something cool and new that we just got in. You want to grab the camera?
Mm-hmm.
Let me get this out of the way. All right, let me just go to camera 2. Hey, there we go. Were the lights on? Or your battery died? I think your battery died.
My God.
I think your battery died. That's okay. We'll play them later.
Yeah.
These are back up.
I'm sorry.
Back up. There you go. There we go. Hey, there we go. So these are the new JVC marine speakers with LEDs.
Yeah.
So if and there again, I say marine, it's motorsport. That's why they're black. If you have something that you want to put speakers in, now it's an RGB, so it'll do red, green, blue, or any one of the combinations that you're seeing here. Oh, look at Fernando with the remote control. Here, let me see this. It actually comes with.
Oh, where is it?
There you go. It actually comes with the remote control for it, which is kind of cool. I think you can have I think we can have 4 pairs of the speakers.
I think 4 pairs of
I think this will work 4 pairs, but each speaker comes with this cool remote control, so that's nice if you buy 4 pairs because you'll have 4 remote controls. So if you lose one, you'll have a backup. And what you see here is that it's a coaxial. The grill does not come off; it's actually attached.
It's attached to this, so.
And the LED lighting is, I believe, the LED lighting is on the bottom, shining into the speaker. Hi. Yes, it is. Yeah, because you can see it. Yep, that's them. Yeah, there's 5 LEDs.
And that's Dean right there.
And there's Dean right here. So if you're interested in some new, reasonably priced. Let me go back. Sorry. If you're interested in some new, reasonably priced RGB motorsport speakers, make sure you head over to the JVC's website and check these things out. 6.5s are what they make, and it's IPX5 rated.
Ooh, nice.
I know, right? Thank you, JVC. I like the idea that they come with remote control.
Yes.
Because for me,
the good thing is like they have.
I love
the
this
clip.
too. They put a freaking clip on it,
so you don't lose it.
Because you know this is just gonna go everywhere.
Yes.
So they actually thought this stuff out. So way to go for them.
Yeah.
And there's no reason why you can't use it in the door of a car other than mounting depth, and like the grill has to stay on. But whatever works for you.
Sebastian's car.
Fast and Furious approved. It is totally Fast and Furious approved.
Totally,
but like I said, the one thing I like about these, now Kenwood also has a version of them. They're in white.
Yes.
But what makes these cool is that the fact that they come with the damn remotes, because most of the time the remotes cost just as much as the speakers do. So it's like, it's kind of no fun. You know, it's like everyone wants. So anyways, there you go. Check them out. You can find them jvcusa.com, I'm sure is the website.
That's right.
I know. Are they
back in the 80s?
Are
I
they
had
waterproof?
pyramids like that.
Yes, they are waterproof. They're IPX5 rated. That's what the IPX rating that we always IPX5, IPX6. Those are the waterproof ratings. That's why you put that on there. So these are IPX5. So they can get splashed in the front, but you're not taking a hose to these. And I probably wouldn't hose off the back of them. I believe they're made to go into the sides of something or into some form of a bucket of some kind or whatever. We know you love Morel, but what are your thoughts on Dyne Audio? Well, it's like the brother from another mother is kind of the Dyne Audio, because back in the 90s when the two brands were coming up, there was a lot of overlap between the two. They were very similar. Dyne is an exceptional speaker, and I do dearly love the way they sound. Given a different state of affairs, Dyne Audio might be the brand that I talk about right now, because those were the speakers that I got to play with back then. I could afford the Morels, I could not afford the Dyne. So as time went on, it was like, we've heard the Dyne Audios many times from Dyne themselves, as well as the home audio Dynes. Our man Bill Freeman here and Mike Sajecki are the Dyne reps. And they have a set of $10,000 a piece Dyne cabinets at their office that we've
Do you want to buy?
Time listening to. No, I do not want to buy them. So yeah, there is a lot of overlap between the twos as time has gone forward, but both of them, in my mind, make a very high-end, very quality speaker. The difference is Morel kind of went the route of we're going to make dedicated car speakers, whereas Dyne hasn't. They do make automotive speakers, but they're not necessarily automotive speakers. They're just kind of like, we have this speaker. If you would like to fit it in your car, go right ahead. Okay, whereas
and in
Morel
the end of
doesn't.
the day, and in the end of the day, that was like these three people. They create the whole thing, and then one way they went to one way, and the other guy went to another way.
Yeah,
that's what they.
Well, cools. Here's the thing.
It's similar.
The thing you have to keep in mind about marine speakers, and I'm sure we've had this conversation before, is that it doesn't matter what you make a marine speaker out of, it's going to fall apart at some point in time. So, 2 years, man. If you guys can get 2 years out of your marine wet outdoor stuff, you're above the curve. And that's why we like these, because it's a nice speaker, it's a quality speaker, and it's an affordable speaker. So when it dies in 2 years, you're not there going, damn it. Because even your expensive JL stuff isn't going to last forever.
All right. Why are installers divided on to use a center channel or not?
I don't installers are divided on a lot of things, but that debate probably comes down to in knowledge. Knowledge, and also what are you looking for as the end user? So, for example, if I can't deliver you a center channel experience, meaning I'm not doing something with an upmixer and some ability to actually provide you a necessary, like, here's the center channel. Are we going to give it center channel sound, or are we just looking for a loud thing in the center of the dash? If we're just looking for a loud thing in the center of the dash, aka what Ford is doing in all their vehicles that don't say Sony and B&O, then yeah, it's an easy enough thing to do. We just slap a speaker in there, left minus right, or right minus left, or just summed between right and left, and boom, you've got sound coming out of the center of the dash.
Play.
You know, it's like whoopity-doo. However, if you are trying to actually provide a center image, and for, let's say, a two-seat tune, so the people on the passenger side of the car and the passenger and the person on the driver's side of the car feel like there's a main vocal coming out of the center of the dash.
Enjoying the same thing.
Well, then you're going to need more than just sound coming out of the center of the dash to do that. So, for one, they have to be educated in the way of how to use a DSP, and also how to use the DSP, specifically something with an upmixer built into it that can provide us the necessary output for the center channel to give us a center output. Think of it just as your home. Your home is everything is encoded in Dolby Pro Logic or Dolby Digital or Dolby Surround or whatever, you know, acronym they're throwing at you now. It's encoded in the software. All you have to do is buy a receiver, play it, and you rock it and roll it. Car audio isn't like that. We use two-channel audio, meaning left, right. There is no sound track, there is no effects track encoded in it. We have to do that all after the fact in a box. If the box doesn't have it, then all it is just another speaker mounted in the center of the dash.
And if the installer doesn't get familiar with the whole DSP and center channel stuff, it's not going to happen. So,
yes, Apple Music is giving you high-res audio at no extra charge. It's available now.
I have it. I have it now.
Everyone has it now.
Not really.
Dyne's 102 is one of the best I've ever heard. I'm thinking of going back to the Dyne three-way set. Dude, for sure.
I saw those Dyne.
They're nice. They're gigantic.
God, beautiful.
Yeah. No, I mean, there again, you know, when it comes to speakers, if you found something you like, by all means, continue.
Yep.
You know, keep going. Yep. The Ford B&O system is aptly named. Yeah, it smells like crap. Can you recommend a shop in Detroit area? No, I don't know anyone in Detroit area.
Who's not, Tommy?
Tommy lives in Michigan, but I don't know if he knows anybody in Detroit. So
okay.
I don't know. I mean, here's what I recommend. Here's what I recommend doing. The brand that you're interested in, whatever brand that might be, go to their website, see if they have a dealer locator. Okay. If they do, check them out. You know, these are the brands that you can, you know, go to their Instagram page, you know, spy on them and see what you can find.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
it's simple to do. Now, if there is no dealer locator on that website, call the manufacturer and find out who the rep firm is in that area. Okay? Call the rep firm. Call that rep firm and say, hey, listen, I live in this area. This is what I'm looking for. Do you recommend... Like, all these things are phone calls away, guys. And it's not like you're trying to call the White House. It's just a matter of...
Sometimes.
You're right. But, like, all this stuff... They want to sell you stuff. All these manufacturers want to sell you stuff. Yeah. So they have phones. They ring. Someone will eventually answer them and hopefully get you the information. So if it's a manufacturer and they only use rep firms, get the rep firm in your area, call them and say, hey, listen... I called the manufacturer. You're the rep firm here. He's not going to sell you anything. Do not ask him to sell you anything. Just go, I'm looking to buy from a dealer in the area. This is where I live. What do you have? You know, who are your guys? Who are your great guys that do this, that, or the other? And they should be able to help you. Like, every rep we talk to, I don't know one of them wouldn't direct you towards somebody, you know, and they know who the good guys are and who the bad guys are. So, you know, that's it. That's what I would do. It would be cool to have decent list of these top installer locations. This question gets asked often. And there is. Believe it or not, there is a place you can go to find, you know, every year we do the top 50 installers of the year. Each one of those guys has to submit to become that. And anyone that's going to take the time to go through the heartache to try to be one of the top 50 installers of the year is typically on that list. And if you just type in Car Audio Top 50 Installer of 2020, you'll find a list of 50 people that you could, and you'll find retailer, installer. So these things are available to you. It's just no one knows because they do such a great job. Like I was number 2. And guy at MTI.
You were?
I know.
Really?
I know. Like,
holy moly.
Yeah, I made number 2. Boom. With videos and all. Sometimes there are videos. Sometimes you can go to YouTube and type in Installer of the Year, and after you get past our video, you can find others that do Installer of the Year.
I feel
videos.
right now Instagram is one of the best search.
Instagram is definitely like if you type in Detroit Car Audio as hashtags. Like hashtag Detroit, hashtag Car Audio.
Yeah, and then you will
probably find somebody that works at a place.
And then you see if you like the work that they do and everything. If you like something, call them, go see them, ask some questions.
But I agree, Byron. It would be cool to have something like that, and
that's right.
It would be cool. And I'm not. Yes. I'm not going to say anything past that because then I'll commit myself to something that I just don't have time to deal with right now. None in Michigan. Damn, really?
None in Michigan, really?
That's crazy.
Huh.
But yes, like I said, make a couple phone calls. You should be able to find somebody. I mean, damn. Close to Detroit. Okay. Wow, look at the time. Holy crap.
It is.
You can stop. Yeah, it's all good. Listen, guys, it's Monday. That's it. That's the show. Wow, this went by super fast. You guys asked amazing questions tonight. Thank you so much. Dean, you have enough on your plate. Yeah, you sound like my wife. And I would agree with you. I would totally agree with you. As I said at the opening of the show, Oscar's in the house. What's up? As I said at the beginning of the show, next 2 weeks, the show is going to happen. The show is going to happen. We're just not going to have the fundamentals part of it because we have to get ready for Knowledge Fest, which is coming up on the 24th, 5th, and 6th. Which means we'll be missing a Saturday show and maybe a hi-fi show and stuff like that. I don't know. We'll let you know as we get a week. This week gets over and we into next week. What's going to happen and what's not going to happen. Have a great positive week. We start out every week hoping, and then it usually takes a left. But so make sure you join us this Saturday on YouTube. We'll be doing Q&A as always. Like wow. Shocker there. Pretty excited. We do have some really neat stuff coming up in the next couple months as far as that's going to go. And then during the week, you can find us on Instagram. Also, before I forget, I don't want to forget, the swag. Well, let's go to the laptop. If you guys are interested in some 5-star apparel, like we thank the guys that have bought this stuff in the past. The 4th of July is coming up here really soon. And nothing says like patriotism and like I'm cool and I'm wearing my American flag like this guy right here. The 5-star car stereo flag shirt. Ooh, man, that is so awesome. The little stars are 5 stars. But where can you find such an awesome thing? Look, see their little 5-star logos. How cool is that? You know how much of a pain in the butt this was to make, by the way? Anyways, you can find that at the new home, dnfswag.com. That's right, we've made it easy. You can find it at dnfswag.com. So you can also head over to dnftooldrawer.com where you can find all the cool tools that we use. And make sure Thursday nights you tune in to the Hi-Fi Vega Network. We'll be doing reverse polarity there. So if you'd like to come and hang out and just talk casually about car audio like we do, it is a lot of fun. You get to hear me not talk like I do on this show. Or any of our shows. Hi-Fi lets me, he goes, go to town, Dean. We have lots of fun. And then if you're interested in movies, make sure you check out the SciJag, where we talk about movies. This week, hopefully we'll have Sue on as a guest. Same Thursday. Comes on at 9:45, and we're going to talk about the movie Risky Business. Sue's never seen it. Last week, if you didn't catch last week's, by all means, we did it on the 20th anniversary of Fast and Furious. I strongly recommend going to watch that because I think you should watch it. It was good. What else am I forgetting? Oh, and if you're interested in The Boring Life of Dean and Haley, well, a new one drops Saturdays. I want to thank you guys again for making a girl's dream come true.
That was good. That was good, guys. Thank you.
Getting it up to 1,000 subs on that.
Keep subscribing. If you find somebody, just
it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But if you'd like to know more about a daughter, a dad, and dumb shit on a Sunday, that's what it's all about. More Sue. That's a topic. That's a topic. Sue is going to be on. Yeah, Sue's going to be on.
There you go.
You guys have a wonderful night as always.
Bye, guys.
I thought it was too, but there again, we'll talk all about that on the show. You guys have a nice night. Fade to black, Fernando.